Hello and welcome. We're at stage 3, race 4 of Red Inferno. As you could just see, 0 upgrades on my Ferrari SF 90XX Stradale. And I made a series of mistakes in my first run. I thought I lost this footage, but I found it. So I'm just going to show some of it. I wanted to show that you can do some of these races with no upgrades at all. So if you're just looking to see how far can you get with no upgrades because you're looking to bank some gold and not earn the car, here you go. Now that was bad. You see how the car really just kind of grinded to a halt there for a bit? My front end tagged the wall, so I'm surprised that this is a successful run. So I just spent half a second of off track. That's the danger of doing a wall ride there, is that is off track. So usually I would spend 4/10, but that time I spent 5/10. And then I am going to do a big time slice here. Look at that. None of that was off track. Only that part is actually off track. So the entrance to pit road is not off track. But now I've burned through 1.5 seconds of off track, and I still have at least 2 more off track wall rides to do. This is crazy. So here's the story. I was having trouble at Daytona, and I started experimenting with upgrades. By the way, crazy wall ride there. And sometimes what I do is I skip ahead. So I do a cloud save, I pay to skip and see where's the really hard races and how many upgrades do I need for the really hard races. And then I go back and I just do it. Well, I goofed and I did a cloud save instead of a cloud restore, and I locked in all those skips, so I couldn't even get the footage. And it's super dangerous to do that, guys. I don't recommend it. And it definitely, the developers probably wouldn't be happy with me doing that either. Oh gosh, this is just nasty. I am very surprised this is a successful run. I'm definitely adding my voice commentary afterwards here because no cracked windshield. Because I thought I lost this footage. So here we go. So yes, if you're skipping ahead, you are definitely taking chances and things could go wrong like they did for me. So then I had to do all of the race on my iPhone XR or XR, and that's interesting in that it has massive glitches at Monza. Don't know why, no other track. I'll just have it where my brakes just stop working repeatedly. Now, it does only happen when my device is getting a bit overheated, like I've been playing for a couple of hours. When you're playing the game with the screen recorder on, and then of course my battery's getting a bit old on that device, so then I end up having it plugged in, it's just too much, and it just starts to glitch. So I might have to get a different device or find another old device. Oh boy, that is so sketchy. I think that just broke my windshield. That did not sound good. I'll check in a second here. Oh, that was horrible. Oh yeah, see a couple of small cracks? Okay, now here's what I didn't know. And that is, you don't need to brake right here. So that is unnecessary. If you look at my full-length video I did for this, with 4 upgrades for speed, meaning even looser than I am now, I was not braking there. So I'm giving up speed, I'm giving up time. Okay, so I still have a couple of bots I gotta pass. Now that was beautiful. That's a beautiful wall ride. Now, I know I'm risking having Ferrari sue me for how bad I've destroyed this car. You know what? They could sue me for our currency. It's a virtual car. You can't sue me for real money when it's a virtual car. But I tell you, I royally have hurt this car. Okay, so probably didn't have to do as many acrobatics because I did get tangled up. Now watch this. Smash and pass on Zoe. And there we go. I did what I needed to do to get her done. It's possible with no upgrades. There you go. Now, let's move on to stage 4, race 1. This gets ridiculous. I have never done what I'm going to show you. Not successfully. Never had this happen before. So I had already had several attempts in at this, and I found that it was best not to cut right here, blast through this, but the next 2 times through, I'm going to blast through that bus stop. I ain't stopping to pick up no passengers. I'm going to blast through there fast. And that gets risky because when you're off track, you burn more fuel because there's resistance. And the fuel they give you, they don't give you a lot of extra fuel. Like even in my main video there, I shouldn't call it my main video, my full video where I did this with as few upgrades as I could, 12 upgrades, that's pretty low. I still was close to running out of fuel. Here, I'll give you the one little spoiler. I run out of fuel. The question is, how early do I run out of fuel, and how hard is it to actually pass the stage that way? It's ridiculous. So what leads to this? Like some of this I haven't rewatched. Okay, that definitely hurt because I went way off track. I should have been on the throttle earlier. So then I'm burning fuel. The weird thing about fuel in this game, it actually bothers me, but I mean, I let it go. Fuel works as a function of time, not as fuel. If you know anything about fuel, if you know cars, the higher your RPMs are, the more fuel you're burning. So this shouldn't be moving at a steady rate. It should be changing depending on our RPMs. But this works as a function of time. So if you're on the button, it's counting down. So that's why the faster your car is, the less fuel you're burning, which doesn't make any sense at all. If I'm revving higher, if I'm up to like 12,000 RPMs for a while, I should be just blowing through fuel. But that's not how it works. Oh well, it's funny. It drives me crazy. It also drives me crazy that it's drastically inconsistent. You could have a race this long with 100 units of fuel, and it's falling as if you got a hole in your tank. Like Magnus came and punctured you with a Phillips head screwdriver, put a couple of holes in your tank. Hey, now that I mentioned screwdriver, how about I say this? Robertson. Who out there knows what a Robertson screwdriver is? I'd love to know. So I'd love to hear that. Describe the shape to me. And if you and what's the most common sizes? I'm just going to leave it at that. See if anyone knows. So anyway, we're going here. Look at this. 1.3 some units of fuel lift. I got to pass Zoe. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is incredibly ridiculous. I can't coast. I can't save fuel. I gotta go, man. And I've got a long ways to go. And there's no way I can catch Zoe without blasting through the bus stop. And it's like, this isn't gonna work. What am I doing? This is madness. As it is, now I've wrecked myself. And I've wrecked Zoe. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm cool. Let's get a huge run. And I'll just coast the rest of the way. And it's like, I'm out of fuel way over here. This is nuts. So now I'm watching Zoe. I'm like, okay, block. Come on, Zoe, give me a push. And I'm just hoping and praying that there's no one there behind Zoe trying to get around us both. And I'm too scared to look. I just got to finish. And there we go. And there goes Zoe. And it's like, ah. So that was scary. Now we've got this race. And this is the last one I think I could do. After this, you definitely start to add upgrades. There's just no other way to keep on going. With 4 upgrades, I was still able to get a little bit. That race, I could hit the speed once. It's over your available top speed, but headed to the on the very last lap, you can find a good slipstreaming partner, and they can push you over the required speed. I could never make it happen twice. And you know what? It doesn't matter because you need more upgrades at Monza. So that's why I don't like fighting too long before I look and I see, is this even worth my fight? Does this get more difficult later on? And so those are questions I like to ask and answer, and sometimes they cost me a lot, and I'm not happy. I think I wasted like 500 or 600 gold in skips. It's so frustrating, but live and learn. My mistake, I always tell people, if you're skipping to explore, be prepared to lose your gold. And I think that's might be the first time I did it, guys. Anyway, I got egg on my face. Okay, so I've got 30 seconds of tailgating to get in, but to get that in, I've got to catch up first, and I'm a long ways off. Like even this Monza is, look how much, with 4 upgrades, I was blowing by him. Here I'm barely catching him. Trying to take this really straight, trying to keep it on track as much as I can. Okay, so there they are. And they are hooked up, which is perfect, because that means that Zoe should be slowed down there. So then I'm going to brake pretty late. Later than I was before, that's for sure. And then you go way out here. This is not off track. The white is off track. Didn't really optimize that. Oh yeah, I guess because I have less upgrades. Okay, Zoe. There's my dancing partner. You've got to dance for half a minute, and I'm getting all tangled up with you. And I need you to not do that because I'm running out of time. She's not really going very fast. Come on, Zoe. Let's Let's get it going. So it doesn't matter if I take this really well, because she is dogging it, man. Okay, I'd love to be done with her by this corner. And done with her. I was done with her a little bit later than I wanted to be. Oh, come on, Zoe. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. When you clip a bot's front end, they hit the brakes. I should have tried to pass her clean so she could have pushed me. Oh, this is going to get way too tense. Like this low on the clock, this far back. Oh, I should have blasted it. I shouldn't be doing that. I guess I was more confident in myself with my time. Right now I'm nervous and I'm watching it. Okay. So I'm going to have the full-length video at the end here. I'll put the link up as soon as I can. You can only put a link up 20 seconds before the end of the video. So you can see there's the full-length one and then how I did it. I decided to let her catch up because I had more time on the clock. Whoa, what am I doing? Holy smokes, did I ever cut that close? Less than a tenth of a second. I can't believe I passed. Anyway, here's the video. Please like and subscribe. See you guys out there on the track.